Welcome to Divine Mass, a sacred ceremony in reverence of our inner divinity. I am Ann-Peggy Heart Divine, the medicine woman and initiator of the new era of consciousness. And with great joy and deep reverence, I invite you to this unique Divine Mass and podcast, held every Sunday. Light Mantra for Divine Mass. I am the light that shines in the darkness. I am one with all that is. Light from source flow through me. I am a channel for love and peace. May the light in me grow, and may the light in all of us shine brightly. Light from the universe, embrace me now. I open myself to the love, wisdom, and the truth that hath always been within. I am the light. I carry the light. I share the light. May the light in me grow, and may the light in all of us shine brightly. Amen. Welcome to the Divine Mass this 16th of February 2025, where the theme in this ceremony is Celestial Alchemy. And the light mantra that started the Mass can be perceived as a celestial alchemy if we open our hearts and take in the light essence of us. Celestial alchemy weaves together transformation, divine wisdom, and cosmic consciousness. The concept of alchemy is the process of transformation from lower to higher state, and it exists in nearly all spiritual tradition, but each use its own symbols, language, and practices to express it. So what is celestial alchemy? Traditionally, alchemy was about transforming base metal into gold, but spiritually it represents the transformation of the soul into divine light. Celestial alchemy extends this idea into the cosmos, showing that our awakening is a part of our greater divine order, a cosmic process of evolution. It is about embodying divine consciousness and align with universal wisdom. This concept can be found in many traditions, often under a different name, but with the same core idea: a spiritual transformation, enlightenment, and divine connection. I will introduce celestial alchemy across 7 different traditions. And the first tradition is Hermetic and Western Alchemy, the great work, Magnus Opus. In Western alchemy, the goal is to complete the Magnus Opus, the spiritual purification and enlightenment of the soul. The 3 stages of alchemical transformation is called blackening, whitening, and redeeming. Represent the death of the ego, purification of the spirit, and divine rebirth. As above, so below. As within, so without. This famous Hermetic principle expresses that alchemy is both a personal and a cosmic process. Reflection in this tradition is that the spiritual awakening is a refinement process where we transmute dense, lower energies into divine radiance. We will come back to this tradition later in the Mass. The second tradition is Christianity and Christian Mysticism that see that celestial alchemy as the Christ within. Christian mysticism teaches inner alchemy, the transformation of the soul through divine love and grace. Christ consciousness is seen as the alchemical gold, a state where the soul becomes one with divine light. Saints like St. John of the Cross and Meister Eckhart describe spiritual purification as an inner fire that refines the soul. Reflection from Christianity see the process of redemption and resurrection as an alchemical journey towards divine union. And the third tradition is Hinduism and Tantra, with their concept of the sacred fire of transformation. In Hinduism, Agni, which is fire, is the sacred force of transformation, burning away illusion to reveal divine truth. Kundalini energy is an internal alchemy fire, rising from the base of the spine to the crown, turning the human into a divine being. The Bhagavad Gita teaches that yoga and self-realization are forms of celestial alchemy, refining the soul into divine essence. Reflection for Hinduism see the inner transformation as the fire that awakens divine consciousness. The fourth tradition is Buddhism, where the alchemy is of the mind, where we learn to turn suffering into enlightenment. The Buddhist path is a form of inner alchemy, where suffering, which we can see as darkness, is transmuted into wisdom and compassion, which is gold and light. The Vajrayana Buddhist tradition speak of alchemy through meditation, turning ordinary perception into pure awareness. And Tibetan Buddhism use spiritual elixir, mantras and visualization as tools of divine transformation. Reflection from Buddhism show us that true alchemy is mastering the mind, transforming suffering into enlightenment. The fifth tradition is Kabbalah, with the tree of life and divine transmutation. In Kabbalah, spiritual transformation is a journey through the tree of life, moving from Malkut, which is earth, to Keter, divine crown. The goal is Tukkan Olam, repairing the world, where the soul is purified and reintegrated into divine unity. The Merkaba, which is Carlot mysticism, teach that the soul can ascend through divine realms, transforming into a being of light. Reflection from Kabbalah show us that alchemy is the elevation of the soul towards divine perfection. The sixth tradition is Taoism and the alchemy of the Tao. Through the Tao, the alchemy of immortality and energy transformation unfolds. Taoist alchemy focused on internal transformation, refining Qi, which is life force, into Shen, spiritual essence. The three treasures, Yin, Qi, Shen, represent the process of transmuting physical energy into divine light. Many Taoist masters teach that the goal of alchemy is a spiritual immortality, returning to the cosmic source. Reflection from Taoism show us that true transformation comes from living in harmony with the Tao, the universal flow. The seventh tradition is Indigenous Tradition, with the sacred fire and earth alchemy. Many Indigenous traditions view the earth as an alchemical vessel, where fire, water, air, and earth shape reality. Shaman work with celestial and earthly element to transmute energy, shifting darkness into healing light. The concept of soul retrieval in shamanism is a form of alchemy where lost parts of the soul are reintegrated into wholeness. Reflection from indigenous tradition show us that alchemy is about restoring balance between spirit and matter, sky and earth. So all these seven traditions show us that the golden thread is that alchemy is a universal process. Across all these traditions, we see that celestial alchemy is the process of turning dense, unconscious energy into light, wisdom, and divine embodiment. But alchemy is not just about transformation. It is about remembering who we truly are. We are gold, light. We are the cosmic fire. And we are the divine light in the process of awakening. And I want to give you some reflective thoughts. How can you practice alchemy in your own life? What part of you are ready to be transformed, refined, and awakened? How do we, as a collective, engage in celestial alchemy to birth the new earth? Being a medicine woman, I use celestial alchemy as the sacred art of healing. To be a medicine woman or a medicine man is to walk the path of transformation, wisdom, and divine remembrance. It is to bring the seen and the unseen, the earthly and the celestial, the human and the divine. It is to hold the sacred, knowing that healing is not just physical, it is alchemy. When Jesus healed, he did not simply cure ailments. He shifted energy, transformed consciousness, and restored divine order within the person. Healing was not just about removing pain. It was about aligning with the original blueprint of divine wholeness. As a medicine woman and medicine man, we are an alchemist of the soul. We take what is broken, fragmented, or misaligned and guide it back to wholeness, balance, and divine radiance. And I want to share the 3 phases of alchemical healing. Some refer to it as 4 steps, but I would refer as the 3 basic, as the Hermetic showed the tradition earlier in this Mass. And the 4th step is nigredo, blackening, which is the breaking down. Healing begins with deep surrendering. This is the phase of darkness, illness, pain, and soul initiation. It is the place where old identities, beliefs, and wounds surface to be transmuted. Jesus met people in their nigredo. He didn't reject the sick, the outcast, or the suffering. He entered their reality and held a space for their transformation. And as a medicine woman and medicine man, we do the same. We see beyond the surface symptom and into the deeper energy that needs transformation. We hold a sacred container where healing begins. And the second phase is albedo, which is whitening and purification. This is where the old dissolves and divine light enters. It is the stage of cleansing, surrendering, and the rising of spirit over matter. When Jesus healed, he often spoke words of forgiveness and truth. He awakened the divine memory in people, the knowing that they were already whole. As a medicine woman and medicine man, our words, present, and touch hold the same frequency. We guide people into purification, where the weight of the past no longer binds them. We activate the light codes and remembrance within. And the 3rd phase is rubido, which is redeeming and the embodiment. True healing is not just about releasing. It is about becoming something new. It is about embodying the transformation and living as an awakened self. This is where the divine blueprint fully returns. This is where the physical body aligns with the cosmic order. This is where healing moves beyond the individual into the collective field. When Jesus healed, he didn't just change one person, he shifted the consciousness of those around him. His healing was an activation of divine frequency that rippled through reality. As a medicine woman and medicine man, our healing is the same. We do not just help one person, we shift energy field, ancestral lines and cosmic timelines. Our healing is not just personal, it is planetary and celestial. The divine feminine and alchemy is returning to the original healing codes. In ancient time, the medicine woman was the keeper of alchemical wisdom. She understood how to work with the elements, the stars, the body as one sacred system. She worked with the fire of transformation to burn away distortion. She worked with the water of purification to cleanse the soul. She worked with the air of spirit to breathe life into healing. And she worked with earth's code to anchor divine energy. But then the wisdom was suppressed. The alchemy of healing was hidden, distorted, and forbidden. Yet now is the time. The medicine women are awakening again, and the sacred art of celestial alchemy is returning. To be a medicine woman and a medicine man in this time is to reclaim this knowledge. It is to remember that healing is not separate from divinity. It is the embodiment of it. You do not just heal, you transmute. You do not just restore, you activate. You do not just help, you illuminate. Our work with celestial alchemy is to bring humanity back into divine remembrance. Every healing session, every word spoken in love, every moment of presence is an act of alchemy, an initiation into divine wholeness. This is the new era of medicine. This is alchemy in motion. This is the return of the divine healers. And again, I want you to reflect on some questions. Ask yourself, how do I already practice alchemy in my life? Where in my body or spirit am I currently undergoing transformation? How can I align healing to be a sacred process of remembrance rather than just fixing symptoms? In what way can I embody the medicine woman or healer within me? When you claim your light essence, know that healing is not just about curing, it is about awakening. To heal is to remember. To heal is to activate the divine blueprint. To heal is to bring forth the celestial within the human. As Jesus did, so too do we. Now is the time to listen to the Light Manifesto of Divine Mass. And after this manifesto, our special guest, Colin Whitby, will talk about the topic of celestial alchemy. Welcome. Manifest of Light for Divine Design. We believe in the divine essence, present in all living beings, a source of light, love, and creation to which we are all connected. We acknowledge our common origin in the Source, where each soul carries the seed of light and wisdom, projected into physical form to experience and evolve through life. We confess that each of us, regardless of background, culture, or belief, is an expression of the cosmic diversity where our unique existence contribute to the wholeness of the divine design. We believe in agape, the unconditional love that connects us to each other and to the universe. This love guides us to live in harmony with ourselves, our fellow beings, and all life. We confess that through our free will, we can activate and express our highest essence, and that we are created to live in balance between the masculine and feminine, between spirit and matter, between heaven and earth. We believe in the universal law that governs both our inner and outer universe, guiding us to understand our own power and our own role in the greater cosmic unity. We acknowledge that we are all multidimensional beings, bearer of divine light, and that we are here to experience, learn, and contribute to the collective good through our divine design. Namaste. Welcome, welcome, Colin, to this Divine Mass, our first guest.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it was great to be here.
And I tuned into you, and when I tuned into you, the theme for this Mass came, and that was Celestial Alchemy. Because you brought the term when we spoke another time, and it's like,
right.
Yeah. And you have some thoughts about Celestial Alchemy.
Yeah. It's interesting because when I was inspired by the words, I was in a place of needing to do something different. And I was finding that the things I was doing, like I was publishing a magazine or an e-magazine, and I was lots of other people's material was going on there. And I had some material of my own there, but it was more sort of articles, short pieces, but it didn't feel like that's what I was bringing. I had something to bring and I didn't know what it was. So I sat down and I wrote a few things out, and Celestial Alchemy came up, and I then looked at the URL on to see if anybody had taken it, and there were quite a few kind of doing it, but none of them had .co.uk, which I then grabbed and decided I'll do something with this, and that was like 3 years ago now. And I built the website and I put a few articles up, and then I sat there and I thought, I don't know exactly what I'm supposed to be doing here. Which is like how some of these inspirations occur, isn't it? Like you think, well, I've got it, it's it, and then so what is it then? And it is interesting because it's only just in the last weeks, and when we've been talking as well, I've actually mentioned it again as being something I might be doing. And I looked up it on a directory because I was thinking the words, they obviously have a meaning. So I wonder whether they actually fit with what I'm feeling now still, and if that's the thing I want to continue building on. So I got the celestial was of or relating to heaven, divine, supremely good, sublime. And those words were exactly what I'm trying to say. The divine, sublime, pristine is another word I like. These are the energies of a very fine celestial flow or angelic flow. Anyway, so that's me. And then alchemy really was that's all right in itself, celestial, but what are we doing? There's a doing in there somewhere. And alchemy is seemingly magical power or process of transmuting. And I think that's the creating the new. The alchemy is us as celestial beings, if you like, but embodied, we're creating our new reality through
Yeah.
this celestial alchemy. And that's where then talking about it, and um, it's gone from wonder what I'm supposed to be doing about this to us talking about it, and then me realizing, well, actually, there's momentum in this. There's movement, and I'm still at that formation. I'm still at the beginning of, well, what do I do with that? But it seems that doing isn't the thing. It's being.
Yeah.
The whole thing is being it.
Yes.
Doing will just come
Yeah.
because you're being it. Then it's almost like make the brain go away and
Yeah.
allow the divine inspiration to you know to occur. So yeah, so that's kind of where I am with it.
Yeah.
And I was interested that you'd picked that up, and then you're reflecting it back to me as
Mm.
something
Yeah.
that's got more on it than I had put. You've put some other um
Tradition and
yeah
elements.
yeah context, if you like, of
Yeah.
what I hadn't even considered. So that's fascinating, the way it's moving, but
Yeah.
I haven't done anything.
Yeah.
It's
And when you
fascinating.
speak, I think about divine timing because I have known a lot of things I was supposed to do, but it's kind of divine timing for everything. So you knew and you took it and you hold it, and the divine timing is now 2025.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Which is, how I think, synchronicity and all those lovely things happen,
Yeah.
you know, to, I think our role, if you like, is to take notice when they happen, and have a sense of, what does that feel like? What does that, I mean, for me, it's actually feeling divine, like that's your thing, but it feels that. I love the word. I love the energy that it brings. There's a, I know sometimes with religions, that you're packed into a particular format, but I do like some of the words, and like divine or holy,
Yeah.
sacred. I like those to describe what this is. It's very, very precious. It's very, um, it's filled with love, and the whole feeling is that of, oh yes, this is who we are. This is what we are. This is how we are. That's what I'm enjoying, that part of this exploration of what do we do next? How does that work? And how is it important that I tell people that, or shall I just do it and it'll happen anyway?
Yeah, but I think the most important is, as you say, feel, because all this word bring us into the sensory or the feeling. So the shift is from out of this box to open the heart and sense, feel. So, and with an open heart, it's not mental construct. So it's like the ego has to die. Sorry, ego, it's good to have you, but but
Mm,
now is the time for the heart to open, and that's the celestial alchemy because the light come through the open heart.
yeah, definitely. Yeah. I think one of the things that early on I was, when I was talking to people in the sort of late 90s, early sort of 2000s, I was finding that the love element seemed to be my thing. Other people weren't talking about it in the same way. They didn't seem to be focused on, it's about love.
Yeah,
But I found that the presence in me, and we've talked about that before, where it's the name Jesus comes up a lot, and that
yeah,
that power of that love that flows. Yeah, look straight away. Um, that seemed to be very important for me to be expressing in some way. Um, yeah, so there we are. It's always there.
yeah.
the it's almost like that's the ingredient that brings everything together in and allows the flow to really penetrate the all of your senses and your awareness, and the heart just widens, and you know, it's literally yeah, it's one of the most holy things I can say I've ever experienced. Um, and so the idea of us being celestial alchemists, it's that's what we do.
Yeah.
We bring it in, we express it, and occasionally when we do that and share it, other people can feel that that presence, that love, and yeah, I've seen it occur a couple of times where people have been moved, and I think that moment, perhaps that's what I do. That must be what I do. Um,
And the one who has done this so perfectly and is kind of a role model is Jesus, because he did it. He showed us this. So when we talk about this Christ consciousness, it is he was showing that all of us can do it. We
yeah,
have all the Christ seed inside us. So we I see this as a time where all of us are going towards the same as Christ did,
mm,
showing us that we have the celestial alchemy inside to just live this light out.
yeah,
Not so much in the head, but open the heart.
definitely, yeah. And it's often like talking it like this is when more comes in.
Yeah,
And I think part of that is when we meet in the same place, we connect at that level, and that facilitates more. It opens more in both, so anybody watching who would be, approaching that place with us would then feel the same sort of opening to that love and that presence. And it's very tangible, the almost like the knock-on effect of that. It's um, the power. It's, I've read somewhere that, like one person on their own is powerful, but two together are like more than twice. And
yeah,
then if you have three, or then it multiplies exponentially out
yeah,
the level of impact that you can make. So I think that more people like being present in this way and being aware of their divine connection, that they are actually divine themselves,
yeah,
and they have this. I was calling it divine essence, but when you touch it, you know it's yours.
yeah,
It's like we're all one, but this little part of that oneness is me,
yeah,
and
yeah,
I can feel it, but I can also feel where your oneness is,
yeah,
and that's unique as well. So we're all part of this one uh, consciousness, this one flow, but it's more than consciousness. It's more. There's something more. When people talk about intelligence and consciousness and things like that, that's just a word that's describing how we're communicating, or how we've constructed a reality, how we're describing it. But this other part is this divine component, is it defies description. It's just beyond. It's there because you're it, but it defying you to describe it, because it could be a being, or it could be just a flow of wonderful energy, but it has such a presence,
mm.
and a movement of pure love that I sometimes brings me to tears when I'm talking about it. It's just
Yeah, and that's my understanding also, and because going from the old, living the old in 40 years and going into this new, it is like sensing everything. The divinity is in everything. So it's like I don't need to think so much. It's like So it's all the time back to the heart, and then we are in the divine flow, in this pristine and all these beautiful words that can activate us. And it's like if we just open to it.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, that's the key. It's and asking. Um, the I think there's still the I don't know if it's a divine law or what, but there's these lovely energies don't interfere. They don't impose themselves. They wait to be asked. So uh, you're open to, you open to them, if you like. I just say, yeah, come on in.
Yeah,
um, because I think um, they are me, and the only thing I'm doing by blocking them away is turning away part of myself.
yeah, yeah.
So I wouldn't want to be doing that.
No. And when I opened, I was giving the word grace, and I had no relationship to grace. In Norway, we don't use grace. And it was shown me that my path was grace. I was shown that I was grace and my path was grace. And then I had to find out, okay, what is the concept of grace? So since January 2015, I have kind of, grace has been my leading star. And it has, wow, opened this new world, because this is kind of celestial alchemy and heaven on earth.
Mm,
Grace was kind of my leading star. And when I was given grace, it also showed me that in the essence of all of humanity, we are grace,
mm,
just open to it. But
yeah,
I had no idea
yeah. It's
when I
funny,
got
isn't it?
it.
That's it. You get these things, and it's like, well, what am I supposed to do with that?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
oh interesting, but because the idea of uh, creating your own reality, it does bring about the sort of images then of wizards, and of the some of the archetypes who have been described as the alchemists in historical documents and things. And but I do like the idea. I've got lots of paraphernalia around in here with magicians and and that kind of imagery, because I found it really fun.
yeah,
And I think the idea that you accept that there's somewhere inside there is this alchemist, and there's just an awareness of, of that it is possible for us to be this magical,
yeah,
to be this magnificent, if you like. We are much, much more than the physical human that we're we can touch and feel.
yeah,
And the impact that we can make is is so much more than our brains can imagine. And I think as we were saying before, the letting go of all that gives the power an opportunity to express through us.
yeah,
And yeah, oh, it's funny. I just got the power of love, which
yeah.
was a lyric way back when it in a song. Yeah, I just
Yeah,
got
but
the
it's the power of love.
yeah, 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 yeah. There's amazing things that keep occurring, actually. Fun enough, but I mean, I'm I was a young lad in the 70s, and my thing was rock bands, and there was all sorts of uh, lyrics flying around, because these guys had just found the weed or whatever they were, and they were just writing straight whatever was coming through. But that one of them was a band, uh, Uriah Heep, I think it was 1971. They were writing this stuff, and it was about a wizard, and he was noting how wonderful it was that you could bring through this new creation. This was a bunch of young lads with guitars that were just scrawling whatever came into their heads, but it's relevant now.
Yeah,
It's
yes, it is.
actually, and you listen to some of these, because that was the tipping points in the sort of early 70s, was
Yeah, yeah,
a lot of the hippie stuff was coming
yeah,
through, and
yeah,
that was definitely one of the tipping points. And I think somebody was quoting from Hare, the age of Aquarius. And when you actually look at you look at those words, that was way back, and they're describing this, they're describing now. So this stuff isn't like it didn't just turn up. It's been filtering through consciousness into
Yeah.
people who are
Yeah.
receptive,
Yeah.
and then creating a lovely song that everybody dances to. But
Yeah. Yeah.
it
Yeah.
they're not really getting what it's saying till now. And then now we're going, oh, that's what it was about. Yeah, I get it. And I think I've been having loads of those, so that's my era. I go back a long way. And because I was just sitting and listening to some of the old songs, thinking, God, those lyrics. And I get the lyrics up on a Google it, and
Yeah.
wow, this has been
Yeah.
happening a while.
So all of us, in essence, we are alchemical magicians, and we, as I working as a medicine woman, we know that the medicine is inside. That's alchemy. So everything is alchemy, and the main ingredients is consciousness and our love emotion, all the divine, pristine,
Mm,
grace, divinity, all this celestial, yeah, all the words we have for this finest light essence of us.
mm,
And it's alchemy starts with emotion, because emotion is in motion. So that's
mm,
why we need our emotion to. So it is our emotion when we connect to the light, and the emotion that comes from the light. What a healing! The celestial alchemy healing. It's wow. It's the biggest. So, and when I worked as a therapist for many years, it was like everyone came to me and wanted healing, and I wanted to use my tools because I had so many good tools because I was here.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I understand that, okay, life is showing me a bigger picture. I started to understand. So the biggest healer is celestial alchemy, opening
Mm.
up to the light essence, divine essence.
Yeah, I think that because that happened when I trained when I finished doing my career, as a electronics and other things. I trained to be a Reiki healer,
Mm.
uh, and I was going to practice here in Minehead where I live. And I'd set up the practice and everything, got the certifications, and did all the thing. But I found myself constrained by the process. I found myself
Yeah.
almost like sweating because I was containing whatever it was I was bringing
Yeah.
into this method, or at least I felt that that was what I was supposed to be doing. And the other odd thing was that I think it was only one person came back several times for more, as it were, but most of them just had the one session. And when I was dousing about, because this isn't very good business, repeat customers is good. So I was dousing that, and I asked a question. So, did they get what they needed? And the answer was yes.
Yeah.
So okay, so my business model then collapses because people only come once
Yep.
because they got what they needed. And yeah, amazing.
Yeah, that's the same with me. But when they come for healing, a lot of them just come, and especially the young kids, they come once and they don't come back because their life shift 360 degrees. I just 2 weeks ago had a youth that haven't been at school for 2 years. After one session with me, she has been every day.
Oh, there you go.
So it's like, okay, only one session. And I have a lot of, it's like one session. And sometimes they come back in 3, 4 years because life has happened, and one session and it lasts for 2, 3 years. And it's like, okay, the customer of me is like that, and that's
Mm.
okay.
It does seem to be the amount of effort that you think you need to make in a situation isn't actually what it is. The very presence. just the being and the intention that something good happens here.
Yeah.
You don't even have to describe what that good looks like. That just that we're making a difference, and the difference will occur, kind of thing, in its own way, in its own time, and I always put as magically as possible. So it could be instant if that's the desire of the person whose help you're offering to, I guess.
The
So I think
hardest
that,
the
sorry.
hardest thing with healing is when you have if you have a person, it is if they are very mental. So the hardest thing for us as human is to go from our mind to the heart.
Mm,
So that's why we cannot guarantee, but there will be one a little opening, a little bit opening. So it's the shift from the mind because the mind protects, and it has so many protection, and it's super good to protect.
yes.
I have worked with so many people, and I say I'm the best protector. I boycott and sabotage myself all the time. So when we
Yeah.
start to see it, it's actually good because then we understand. Oh, if we are living in this brain, like Tony Robbins, he said, "Stay in your head and you're dead."
Yeah. Well, that's very much it. The interesting thing, I guess, is that the uh, almost like, I wouldn't say overpowering, but the narrative that we're living in is very persuasive, and it suggests that it's all in the mind. It suggests that we're affected by this or we're affected by that, so that we automatically then are. I noticed there was a lot of concern when mobiles were first came out, and you're holding it against your head, and then people were getting RF pads and stop the radiation from going into your head because it causes this, it causes that. And I just remember thinking, well, look, I've got to use my mobile a lot for work. I'll just intend that it has not harmed in any way by any of the frequencies or anything that the mobile carries. It's going to go straight through me out the other side. I, I'm absolutely unharmed. And so far, that's been the truth. Do you know what I mean? So there might be somebody who can show an egg being boiled. I know somebody did that. They had a mobile and they boiled an egg when the mobile was switched on, and you're thinking, oh, that's some radiation going on there. Hey, look, there's microwaves coming out of these things. And you think, yeah, okay, but that's a narrative. That's something that you could burrow down into and get really concerned about, or not.
But you are talking about alchemy, celestial alchemy, because you see that this isn't affecting me. You use alchemy in your body. So, but if you had a perceptive and a consciousness that, oh, this will harm me, it will harm you.
Yeah, that's
So
exactly
we
right.
are so when we talk about go out of the mind is also very strong in everything it wants to go into.
It does. Yeah, very much. I think that, and it's taken so many years for me to get to this point. I mean, it's not like it's happened overnight, and it's still occurring. It's still bits of me are still hanging on, sort of like because it's almost like you quite enjoy the game
Yeah.
of hanging on. This part of you knows you're supposed to get rid of, just release, release, release. But there's another part that's kind of enjoys. So something said to me the other day, you should give up the coffee because it's got, your whole body's. You think, yeah, but I actually like coffee, so I'm not doing that. And it's so there's still a little bit of a fight going on.
The same fight, so I love my coffee. I eat so healthy. Everything is kind of the right way, but I drink too much coffee. So that's my. But I love, my soul loves coffee
Oh
with
yeah,
with cream.
absolutely, yeah. We get ours up the road from our favorite place, and it's just got to be done.
But
But
that's the essence also, because we know that we are divine, we know that we are light, but at the same time we have this avatar, and this is duality. This belongs to Mother Earth, so this also wants its pleasure.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I get that. Yeah. So it is being aware, I think, just being aware of what in a way what lights your fire. What is it that is the thing that really brings the most of you present. For me, it's being that flow of love.
Yeah,
That's the big one for me.
yeah,
And even bigger than that is sharing it.
yeah,
So it's the process of getting in front of people and getting in the environment that one can do that. So that it's, so that there's a, and I guess that's where you come to your ideas around mass and things like that, is that there's a mechanism in a nice a safe place
yeah,
that is being described as divine.
yeah,
Here we can safely be in that place together
yeah,
and share that uniqueness with each other, but also share that common thread of divinity.
yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
And that's why said to you, I want to have you in several of the Divine Mass and the Divine Design podcast, because you have said yes to, you are this love. You want to emanate this love. So Divine Mass and Divine Design podcast, this is the intention. So you are kind of our special guest.
Right, no, that's lovely. Thank you. And then there's me wondering, how do I get this out there? And you've there, there it is.
Yeah, there it is. So it's like,
Yeah,
yeah, because we think so much, and it's good to think. I don't say it's wrong, but if we just open, it comes all the way, because it's not so long since we met.
no, very short time, really.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I've never heard about you, you never heard about me, and then we met, and when I had a meditation, two names come up. You were one, and the other one was Verla, and it's like, yes, you are kind of holding the same as me.
yeah, yeah. And it's interesting, isn't it? That because sometimes I, when I'm in other groups, and I'm I'm almost reticent in mentioning, by the way, it's all about love, because they're talking about all sorts of other things, and let's call it this, let's call it that. Have you ever thought of calling it love? Isn't that what it is?
Yeah.
And I think there's almost like a built-in resistance even to the word,
Yeah.
because he's got other connotations. He's got relationship associations. So it's sort of,
Yeah.
oh, you say I love you, then there's this thing going on,
Yeah.
and whereas you're not saying that. You're saying that it's about, when people say namaste, it's the divine in me sees the divine in you,
Yes.
and loves what he sees. Wow, look at the divine in that person. Wow, look at that, how magnificent they are. That's what the love is saying.
Yeah.
Much, much more than our little definitions of it, where we're only allowed one. Well, you can love that person, but you mustn't love that person at the same time, because it's like, well, why can't I?
Yeah.
I want to. And I'm not being, like frivolous about it. So I think that's been very much my um, thing, if you like. So all along, all the things I've been trying to do really was literally to express that in whatever way it seems appropriate.
Yeah. And yeah, we will talk about this theme and more to come in Divine Mass and Divine Descent podcast. But now I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you so much for this theme about celestial alchemy.
That's great. I loved it. Yeah, it's
Me.
brought out more for me as well. Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Colin, for this inspiring and uplifting words about celestial alchemy. We are now moving into the end of this Mass, where I will guide you into the meditation of entering the alchemical space. And after this meditation, you will be given the blessing and healing prayer from Divine Mass. And our closing song, North will be presented with Trine Strand. The theme for the next Divine Mass on the 23rd of February is Drama of Redemption. In this Mass, you will see that the drama of redemption is a universal theme found in most spiritual traditions, and you will be given a meditation to transcend this drama. See you in the next episode of Divine Mass. From the divine in me to the divine in you. Namaste. Entering the alchemical space. Close your eyes. Take a slow, deep breath in and exhale gently. With each breath, feel yourself becoming lighter, more present, more open. Let go of any tension, any distractions. Allow yourself to fully arrive in this moment. Now imagine that you are standing in a vast cosmic temple, a space beyond time and space, a place where the ancient alchemist and celestial being have gathered for eternity. Look around. The temple is filled with golden light. You see symbols of transformation carved into the walls. You feel a deep presence surrounding you, a force of wisdom, love, and divine transmutation. You are standing at the threshold of your own alchemical awakening. You are ready to activate the celestial alchemy within. A great sacred fire appears before you. This fire is not ordinary. It is the fire of purification, the alchemical flame. It calls to you. It invites you to release all that no longer serve you. Now, take a moment to gather all that you are ready to release. Old patterns, fears, limitations, illusions of separation. See them gathering in your hands as a heavy, dense material. This is your lead, the part of you that are ready to be transformed. Now, with full trust, offer them to the sacred fire. Watch as the flames consume the old, transmuting the lead into pure light. Feel how much lighter you become. You are releasing what has kept you from your higher self. You are creating space for something new. Breathe and feel the transformation beginning. Now the sacred fire does not just burn before you, it begins to rise within you. Feel a golden flame ignite at the center of your being, a fire of divine transformation deep within your soul. This fire is not here to destroy you, it is here to awaken you. It burns with love, with wisdom, with celestial power. Allow this alchemical fire to expand within you, moving through your body, clearing away all densities, activating your highest potential. You are being refined, purified, awakened. This is your inner alchemy in motion. As the fire settles into your being, something begins to emerge from within you. A golden essence, a radiant light, a higher wisdom. This is the gold of your soul, the purest, highest version of you. You feel this golden energy filling you, expanding through your heart, illuminating your mind, awakening your deepest knowing. This is who you truly are, not the past, not the fear, but pure divine essence. Now the celestial alchemy is complete. You are no longer the same. You have released, transmuted, and awakened. You have become the gold, the light, the living alchemist. Breathe into this new state of being. Feel its power, its peace, its clarity. Now a great cosmic presence approaches you. Perhaps it is a divine guide, an ascended master, a celestial being, or simply the voice of your higher self. They place their hand upon your heart and whisper, "You are the alchemist. You are the gold. You are here to embody the divine, to shine as the awakened one. You carry the wisdom of the stars within you. Go forth and live as your true self." Let these words integrate deeply into your soul. You are now aligned with celestial wisdom. You are now a living expression of divine transformation. Now take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, slowly begin to return to your body. Return to this space. Return to this moment. But as you come back, you bring this golden energy with you. This wisdom is now within you forever. You are no longer the same. You have stepped into your celestial alchemy. You are a living, breathing embodiment of divine transformation. When you feel ready, gently open your eyes. You are here. You are awakened. You are the gold. Namaste. Blessing from Divine Design. May your heart be filled with light, clarity and peace, so that you may be a source of love for yourself and all around you. May the wisdom within guide you forward, granting you the courage to create goodness each and every day. May you stand firm in your truth and your light, finding strength in knowing you are part of something greater, a tapestry of beauty, belonging and purpose. Let your path be illuminated by the joy of service, and let your love inspire wholeness and peace, for you are both the creator and a part of this heaven on earth. May you embrace the divine in yourself and in all others, living with open hands, an open mind, and an open heart. Let this day and every day that follows be an opportunity to manifest love, wisdom, and joy, so that the world may be transformed through your presence. Amen.
Her kan jeg lande, bare være med. Dele tankene med nordlyset, være sammen med deg. Her finner jeg feste. Havet sang min vuggesang. Her finner jeg min ro. Nord, halleluja, halleluja, deler tankene med nordlyset. Være lammet der.
Have you experienced divine intervention? We would love to hear from you. Visit Ann-Peggy.no or divinedesign.it and leave a message for a chance to be featured as our guest. We love hearing from our listeners and sharing their experiences. You can find Divine Mass and the Divine Design podcast on multiple platforms where you listen to podcasts. Welcome to a new time, a new consciousness. Welcome to the future of Divine Mass.